Hallo, ich bin's, Robin, Deutschlehrer mit Core Languages, and today I'm back at Riverfront Park in North Charleston and I have a task for you, or an assignment. For a few moments, think about 4 or 5 questions that you could ask someone in order to get to know them better. It's possible, but unlikely, that you thought of 4 or 5 questions that all begin with the same question word. Now, you may have thought, what is your name? How old are you? Or where are you from? In English and in German, we need to understand how the different question words help us ask about different elements in a sentence. But we also need to pay attention to how they affect the word order in a sentence. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some basic German question words so that you can begin asking questions in German. I would say los geht's und viel Spaß beim Deutschlernen.
Question words. Question words, or interrogatory pronouns, are often used at the start of a question to inquire about a specific element. Wer, or who, is used to ask about a person or about people. Wessen, or whose, is used to ask about possession. Wo, or where, is used to ask about a place or location. Wann, or when, is used to ask about time or occasion. Welch, which, is used to ask about choice or an alternative. This question word can have different endings. Warum, why, is used to ask about a reason or an explanation. Was, what, is used to inquire about information about something. Wie, how, is used to ask about the way something is done. Wen and wem, both of which can mean whom, is used to ask about a person or people as the object of a verb or a preposition. Here are some Beispiele of questions with question words. Fragen mit Frageworten. Welches Auto ist dein Auto? Which car is your car? Wer ist dein bester Freund? Who is your best friend? Wo wohnst du? Where do you live? Warum lernst du Deutsch? Why are you learning German? Was ist dein Lieblingssport? What is your favorite sport? Wie schreiben Sie Ihren Namen? How do you write your name, or how do you spell your name? Note that the question word wie is sometimes used in German where we would normally use what or was. For example, I could say, wie ist Ihr Name? Which translates to, what is your name? Even though the exact translation would be, how is your name? The word order in questions is different from regular word order. It is inverted. In addition, word order in questions can vary depending on the presence of question words. For example, zum Beispiel, wie geht es dir heute? How are you today? Or literally, how goes it for you today? This question begins with a question word, and then it has the inverted word order, verb first, then the subject, followed by the predicate. Woher kommst du? Where do you come from? Or literally, where from come you? This example also begins with a question word, followed by the verb and the subject. It is important to note that the question words woher and wohin, where from and where to, are question words that include direction, and they can be separated, in which case the particle her and hin can go to the end of the question. For example, woher kommst du can also be wo kommst du her? Sind Sie sicher? Are you sure? This example uses the verb to be and no question word. In this example, the question begins with the verb, followed by the subject and then the predicate. Kannst du mich hören? Can you hear me? This example uses a modal verb, and the word order is modal verb or auxiliary verb, followed by the subject, followed by an object, and at the end, a verb in the infinitive. Kannst or können is a modal auxiliary verb and requires the infinitive form of the main verb to go to the end of the sentence or question. In our example, hören, to hear. But we can also form questions with modal verbs and question words. For example, wann kannst du mich anrufen? When can you call me? This example begins with a question word, followed by an auxiliary verb or modal verb, followed by the subject, then the object, and then another verb in the infinitive at the end of the sentence or question. Wie spät ist es? How late is it? In this example, we begin with a question word, but before the verb, another word slipped in. In this example, late, spät. Then the verb, and then the subject. Here are some Beispiele of questions with different word orders, some with question words and some without. Wo ist das WC? Or wo ist die Toilette? Where is the bathroom? Warum sind Sie spät? Why are you late? Möchten Sie etwas trinken? Would you like to drink something? Haben Sie eine Frage? Do you have a question? Üben. Let's practice. Look at the following two examples and choose the question that is correct. Woher wohnst du? Or wo wohnst du? The question word woher is used to ask about direction. The direct translation would be, where from do you live? The correct question is, where do you live? Wo wohnst du? And how about this example? Which question has the correct word order? Was spielt sie gern? Or was sie gern spielt? The correct question is, was spielt sie gern? This question begins with a question word, was, and a question has inverted word order, which means the verb comes first, spielt, then the subject, sie. And how about this example? Which question word fits? Warum bist du traurig? Or wie bist du traurig? The correct question would be, warum bist du traurig? Why are you sad? Wie bist du traurig? How are you sad? Doesn't really make sense. How about this example? Was beginnt das Konzert? Or wann beginnt das Konzert? Was wouldn't really make sense here. What does the concert begin? The correct question word is wann or when. Wann beginnt das Konzert? When does the concert begin? And how about this example? Wem sind Sie? Or wer sind Sie? Wem means whom or to whom. The question, to whom are you, doesn't really make sense. The correct question is, wer sind Sie? Who are you?
Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to use German question words. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to comment, or if you're interested in joining one of our German courses with a live instructor, feel free to message us directly. Das war's, vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal.